My name is Allison Gillette, and I am the state ornithologist with the Indiana Department of Natural Resources.
All right. So, our staff and some of our viewers have been noticing here in the Terre Haute area that we've been seeing a lot more bald eagles lately. Do you have any idea why that may be?
Yeah, there could be a few reasons. In particular, you have the Wabash River right next to Terre Haute, and bald eagles really enjoy nesting along those large rivers. And so you can get numerous nests, maybe 5 to 10 in your area, just because of that corridor. So that's the first one. And then there might be also a lot of bald eagles passing by because right now in their nesting period, they are raising chicks. And so they're a lot more active, which means that they are typically bringing food to and from the nest, hunting a lot more just because they have a lot of mouths to feed. And so you might be seeing a lot more activity, and as a result, people might be noticing them more just because they're doing a lot more things.
Yeah.
So that's the second reason. Mhm.
I know the DNR has been over the past few years, involved in restoration efforts and rehab efforts to try to help the population of bald eagles. Do you think that those efforts from the DNR could maybe be resulting in a bigger population?
Perhaps, yeah, we have definitely been trying our best to, really encourage bald eagle nesting through, for example, cleaning up our waterways. And so a lot of practices that we put in place, such as we have this thing called Conservation Reserve Program that helps farmers to be able to implement these different practices to help, filter water so that you end up getting much cleaner water in your rivers like the Wabash River. So that's one particular reason why or how we end up actually encouraging bald eagles to nest. And like you had mentioned, we do have the bald eagle restoration that occurred in Indiana. That occurred from 1985 to 1989, and where we released 73 eaglets to Lake Monroe down in Monroe County. And so they've been doing well ever since then. Their population has really, I'd say, taken off, which is a wonderful thing to see throughout the entire state. And as a result, we have we do keep records of bald eagle nests throughout the state, and we have counted at least 500 this year, which is the greatest number that we've had since we've actually started documenting it.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for a nerd like me, I can understand why it's so interesting, but maybe for people who don't understand, why is this important? Why is it important that we make sure that we have these beautiful creatures for generations to come?
Yeah, absolutely. Bald eagles are beautiful birds. They are iconic because they are our national bird, and they have such a distinguishing characteristic of that white head and white tail. And not only are they beautiful and just something to really enjoy, but they also are great for indicating how well our environment is doing. If we have a lot of bald eagles, they're eating fish and different types of things to be able to feed their chicks and raise their families. But that is a great indicator of how healthy our water is. So, for example, along the Wabash River, if you have a lot of bald eagle nests, that's a really good sign that things are going pretty well with the quality of your water near Terre Haute. I really like to encourage people to understand that they are protected. They're protected by two federal laws. They're the Bald and Golden Eagle Protection Act, which protects the bald eagles themselves, plus their chicks, their eggs, and their nests. And then we also have the Migratory Bird Treaty Act, which protects all native bird species throughout the United States. And so as a result, we need to respect them and keep a distance from them that minimizes disturbance. So if bald eagles are really showing that they're being stressed out because somebody's getting a little too close to their tree or to their nest, it's best to just, take a step back, literally take a step back and view from a greater distance, because sometimes they do get really sensitive to that type of disturbance, and that could end up affecting whether they successfully raise their young. If they can't tend to their nest because they're scared of being close to that nest, then they might not be able to, actually fully care for their young. So we want to minimize that as much as possible, minimize the disturbance that could interfere with that.
So, I mean, I'm assuming that you hope that these numbers continue to go up each year, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's been great just because people have really been noticing them. And I think of bald eagles as a great way to really get everybody engaged with wildlife and their environment. They're the perfect first step into the pool and just getting your feet a little bit wet with being able to understand that like wildlife is beautiful. You could really appreciate them. And I think bald eagles are the perfect entrance for that.
All right. Well, I'm jealous. They've been spotting them like crazy out here. I
Great.
haven't seen one yet, so I'm going to be on the lookout now that I
Yeah,
know that they're
absolutely.
coming. Well, Allison, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it.